to be worried about whether we'll get wheat. Even as school children, we used to look at, इस बार बारिश अच्छी नहीं हुई है, तो हमारा wheat production 22 मिलियन टन से 18 मिलियन टन पे चला जाएगा. तो फिर maybe we have to import wheat. Can anybody guess what is, and we would import wheat from USA. Can anybody guess what is USA's wheat production now compared to India? Any guesses? हम लोग गेहूं कितना प्रोड्यूस करते हैं? हमारा क्रमांक क्या है? What is our number? Fruit and vegetables will come to. We are second highest producer of wheat. What does America produce? You know, 3 Indias can fit into America. America इतना बड़ा देश है कि 3 इंडिया जोग्राफिकली एक अमेरिका में बैठते हैं. अमेरिका का प्रोडक्शन कितना है? 50 मिलियन टन्स. हम लोग 113 मिलियन टन्स करते हैं. There is no comparison. What's happened? So despite this, farmers' incomes have not grown. So just look at another industry. One of the most successful industries in India is, of course, we all know. Which is it? IT. Can we say that IT professionals are very poor? IT industry is rich, but that's a problem with agriculture. We can just go to the next one. So this is actually our basic problem is not just with agriculture, it's with I'll come down to fruits, but I want to really bring about some change in perspective about how we look at agriculture and why this meeting is so important. So while most countries, when they changed from industrial to agricultural to industrial, they also shifted their workforce from agriculture to industry. India couldn't achieve that for various reasons. They both constrain agriculture and industry. So आप देख सकते हैं कि इंडिया में अभी भी 49% people depend on agriculture as for workforce, but GDP में it contributes only 16%. While in countries like USA, GDP में 1% है और 0.7% people contribute to work in agriculture. So an average farmer in America is richer than an average American. But on the other hand, हम लोगों का एक average farmer is poorer than all other sectors, and he's poorer by huge amounts. Next देखेंगे. So per capita income in agriculture is 1/7, 1/10 of services. मतलब सिर्फ कृषि सेक्टर से हम लोग दूसरे सेक्टर में चले गए तो we get so much higher income. तो फिर क्यों लोग फंसे हुए हैं एग्रीकल्चर में? It's a very huge issue. Next. So one of the things, of course, is which we have solved कि हम लोगों का जैसे महाराष्ट्र का है that we are very much correlated with monsoons. You know, this was from up to 2017-18 we were mapping. तो हम लोगों का production totally follows the monsoon line. तो इसमें I think on this Maharashtra has made a big change. Next. So you know that we have been able to increase investment in agriculture. हम लोगों के जो chief minister है, he always says that Indian agriculture across the whole country is relief driven. हम लोग रिलीफ के लिए कितना भी पैसा खर्च करते हैं, उतना ही पैसा खर्च करते हैं एग्रीकल्चर में. मतलब जब ड्रॉट आ जाता है, we spend 10,000 crores in giving relief to farmers. जब floods आ जाते हैं, we give. But what is the investment? गुंतवणूक क्या है? जैसे इंडस्ट्री में we do not expend money on repairs after an accident. That's not our main expenditure in industry. But agriculture में सरकार का सबसे बड़ा खर्च is only on relief. जो कुछ नुकसान होता है, every time there are grapes का problem आता है, everybody shouts, सरकार 2,000-4,000 करोड़ दे देती है. But did you know that in terms of investment, we never invested more than 1,000 crores in 1 year in agriculture, while we could spend 8,000 crores on relief. तो इसीलिए हम लोग की ग्रोथ एग्रीकल्चर की अप एंड डाउन होती रहती थी. नेक्स्ट. सो लास्ट फ्यू इयर्स दिस हैज बीन चेंज एट लीस्ट इन महाराष्ट्र. जल युक्तिवार, पोका, ये सब प्रोजेक्ट से बदला है, पर फिर भी डबलिंग फार्मर इनकम का इशू कहां पर अटका हुआ है? नेक्स्ट. दिस इज द वी कैन गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन. आगे जस्ट कीप मूविंग. आई हैव ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन्ड दिस. Can we go to the next slide? Next. So आगे चलते रहिए आप. Just keep going. Yes, we have done this. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show. So if you see the wheat production, that's the first bar. That's where we have reached. So we still talk about production, but I'm going to give you a very counter position. Production is those who are not farmers like us. It's good for us. If farmers produce करते रहे. हम लोग सस्ते में लेते रहे. It's not in their interest, by the way, in the farmers. इसीलिए all the farmers from Punjab and all, they come and get the state to go and do procurement because they are not able to sell the wheat at the market price. So India has already become the second largest producer of wheat in the world, despite being 1/3 the size of all our compatriot countries. China is 3 times India's size. Similarly, India is the second largest. It was third. It's the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables. Or rice maybe we are second highest. Milk maybe we are the highest. Now let's come down to fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables हम लोग second highest producers हो गए हैं. But we are also highest in one thing, in fruits and vegetables. What are the post-harvest losses in fruits and vegetables in India compared to China? And what is the processing? Both are mirror opposite images. मतलब हम लोग, we are the second highest producers of fruits and vegetables. Our losses post-harvest are between 30 and 40%. China has brought them down to 18-20%. पर वो important नहीं है. हम लोगों का processed fruits are only 2%, while China has brought it up to about 20%. So this is the difference between farmers being better off and not being better off. It's nothing to do with production. अभी भी हमारी agriculture ministry, fertilizer, procurement price, all wrong. We are going to, हमारे next to Punjab we had the entire Indus Valley. 5,000 साल हमारा civilization था Indus Valley का. Nothing survives of that. And we are pushing Punjab and Haryana down that line. We have to shift out of production towards more processing. तो इसी के लिए आज की मीटिंग है. Go to the next one. तो इसमें हम लोग कर सकते हैं. We can go to the next. Last, I'll just end with this. Then, yeah. The आगे जाना. Yeah, you can just see this. So what we have been doing with Pokhara, you can just put on the. So this is on Pokhara now. So we can stop it at that. I'll end with this. ये धाराशिव जिले के कोई उदाहरण है. So basically हम लोगों का agriculture faces one big constraint. We don't have large farms. Secondly, we have very strong laws which don't allow non-farmers to buy agricultural land. So we do not like that large concentration of land ownership should come in farming. It's a good policy. It helps farm. But on the other hand, farmers are too small individually to fight the market power of various producing processing companies. So they are not price takers. जो भी कीमत producer या trader बताता है वो कीमत farmers को लेनी पड़ती है. They are not price makers. कि हम हमारी कीमत नहीं ठहरा सकते. जो लोग ऑयल प्रोड्यूस करते हैं वो अपनी कीमत ठहराते हैं. जो मर्सिडीज गाड़ी प्रोड्यूस करते हैं वो कीमत ठहराते हैं. हम लोग खरीदने वाले नहीं, पर फार्मर्स के लिए कीमत वो नहीं ठहरा पाते हैं. तो इसका उत्तर सिर्फ एक ही है कि प्रोसेस, पहली चीज तो फार्मर्स की ऑर्गेनाइजिंग पावर बढ़ाना. तो जिसमें सह्याद्री का सबसे बड़ा उदाहरण है कि 10,000 फार्मर्स कम टुगेदर एंड वर्क लाइक वन फार्म. So this way we overcome the basic constraint of India, which is small farms. So ये पहला point. Second, market power. So market power कब बढ़ती है? When we process and have ability to store goods so that we can make prices and not take prices. Making prices मतलब storage कर सकते हैं, process कर सकते हैं, जमा के रख सकते हैं, so that we play with the market, which the traders are doing right now. हम लोग नहीं कर पाते. So that is what Pokhara, this project, Smart project is doing. कि छोटे-छोटे farmers के groups को एकत्र ला के उनकी processing capacity बढ़ा रहे हैं, उनका storage capacity बढ़ा रहे हैं, ताकि they can also play in the market and not just the traders. मुझे लगता है कि आज का हम लोगों का जो दूसरा विषय है कि of setting up the stewardship council, where we bring fruit producers and also fruit processors and also fruit traders together, so that they can establish quality standards and support each other. That's a very good win-win solution. So I hope that this venture is a great success and we can bring all the fruit producers and their traders together in one stewardship council. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pardesi, for your insights. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the inaugural address by Mr. Priyaranjan, who is the Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Government of India, and also the MD of the National Horticulture Board. I'll request everybody to keep ears because I'm going to introduce him in a few words to you. Mr. Ranjan's role involves spearheading initiatives aimed at boosting horticulture development in India through various schemes and programs that support farmers, entrepreneurs, and other stakeholders in the horticulture sector. His efforts in promoting best practices, facilitating infrastructure development, and enhancing access to markets have significantly contributed to the growth and diversification of India's horticulture landscape. Could we have a huge round of applause as I welcome him to the podium for his inaugural address.
Good morning, everybody. Respected Patnaik Sahab, Pardesi sir, Praveen Gedam, Vinita Sulanshu ji, and Vilas ji on the dais, Dr. Naqvi and Mr. Naqvi and his team for organizing such a beautiful event, wherein you have brought in people from various facets working on horticulture on a single platform to in fact discuss and understand what are the challenges that the sector faces and how we can in fact maneuver and find a way to address these problems. Pardesi sir has given a very, very powerful presentation wherein he has addressed why the incomes of the farmers are not increasing as the production increases, what are the problems which are ailing the agriculture sector. I totally agree with what he presented, and although it is a matter of pride that now India has become the second largest horticulture producer in the world, but still we are far behind other countries in terms of productivity. Though the production comes from around 30% of area in the country, but there is huge potential if we look at the agroclimatic conditions and the varied areas, altitudes and various soil conditions that the country poses. And it also gives opportunity for diversification. Presentation that we need to in fact shift farmers from rice wheat cycle so that they are able to have better incomes and the stress or the pressure on the ecology or the water and other components is reduced. So horticulture has a huge potential in this regard, and we can address the problems that are emanating out of the rice wheat cycle, shift farmers to vegetables, fruits, by which the farmers can get immediate income in 2 months, 3 months time, and there's huge potential. But we understand that the sector faces a lot of problems. Why is it not happening? Why the what are the problems that because of which the sector is not able to gain the kind of limelight or the attraction or the traction that should happen. So it is very, very important that we realize that the major challenges that we in the ministry understand is one, where do the farmer go for quality planting material that is disease-free? Where does the farmer go for a package of practice? The farmers will only take a plantation or horticulture only when they have the knowledge and access to quality plant material. Even if the production happens, if there are no processing facilities available, no avenues for trade, no avenue for a proper market which can give them prices, it becomes a disincentive. We have seen that happens in case of capsicums, vegetables, potatoes and tomatoes every year. In glut time, the farmers has to dispose it at no price, in fact. And we see after a seasonal thing, we see increase in the demand and the prices go up. So there, we need to in fact focus on how these the produce coming out of the farmer field can be stored, processed, and gives an opportunity to the farmer to hold it back and realize the income from that. I think that is very, very important. Apart from that, we also find that the focus, we also find that there is a lot of problem in case of, in fact, aggregating produce which are produced in different parts of the country. So here in Sahyadri, while I've come here for the first time, we have seen initiatives taken by Vilasji and his team while bringing along a large number of farmers working out different horticulture crops. We see here the strength that it brings on, strength that the farmer aggregates bring to the horticulture sector. I think it is very, very important for farmers to come together, form such organizations, and apart from that, we at the ministry also feel that we need to, from the government side, from policy level support, we need to bring in schemes and programs which can support farmers in this regard. The Government of India has been implementing National Horticulture Mission and the Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture for addressing the issues of horticulture sector, starting from pre-production, product marketing, branding, even exports. In that regard, I think it's very, very important. We have seen that the last 10, 15 years, production has increased, but it has not been adopted on a large scale because of these problems that has been cited. The problems of processing, the problems of lack of cold storage. The best example of in fact, farmers' income, increase in farmer incomes come from the horticulture farmers of